very flexible. I think you're like it. Yeah, I mean, that thing that you put together for the installation, that was just off the chart.
Well, we can definitely do that. You know, I originally suggested that you can't do trumpet, but not like trumpet, more like, you know, the muted trumpet or flugelhorn, because, you know, obviously trumpet is pretty kind of loud. But he wanted the saxophone, and the thing about the saxophone was perfect, except sometimes in Rich, he doesn't really have a soft dynamic, you know? And the saxophone sits right in the same register as your voice. So unfortunately, like, I think sometimes the sax is competing with the voice. But the trumpet can just be mellow and under the voice and then speak, you know, here and there. Arlene, are we doing the Nagoon that we did for a long time, or is it a different one? You remember how the cantor had a different Nagoon?
Oh, no, we're doing the one that I did last time.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't do this.
Yeah.
I've got 1,000 of different ones. If I was going to change it, I'd change it to something.
Okay. Well, I was just
I know
checking because that one's not actually in that PDF. It's somewhere else. So.
No. I'm doing the
Okay.
the Carl Bach. So where are you going on vacation?
Stand it. I think it's there. Whatever she's singing.
Whatever is on here, whatever you tell me, that's what I'm doing.
That's good. You already have that nickname. I don't think it's new, to be honest with you. Yeah. You didn't know that? All I know is when I hear it sung, I think of you. Oh, okay. There you go. It's just, you know, what it is. What? The Mizmor Shir? I know. Yeah. Well, it's unique to you, so, you know, it is. True, but you carried it on, so that's important. That's important. Well, we're going to get started. So we're going to go ahead and get going this afternoon. Excuse my hoarse voice. Sounds like the allergy bug has gotten me, so whatever that means. Arlene tells me it's year 2, and I this is what I get for being here 2 years. Now I get the allergies with it, right? That's the rule.
The leaky roof stuff causes my
I gotcha. All right. Well, we're going to get going, and I'm thrilled to have some help today since my voice won't hold out very much, so it's wonderful.
Between both of us, maybe we'll have one voice.
Yeah, we'll have one voice. Oh, you're fine. So we say Shabbat Shalom and welcome. We're so glad to enjoy our tefillah, our prayer this evening in celebration of Hadassah Shabbat 2022, which is, we were just talking about how it's been virtual the last couple of years. And here we get the opportunity, thankfully, to be together. And so I know we're going to be very participatory tonight. We will have several of our Hadassah members helping to do some of the English and even daven some of our tefillot, our prayers. And together we will honor Hadassah, we'll honor the founding of Hadassah quite appropriately, as I know Marion will probably refer to. The name Hadassah is the name of Esther, right, in Megillat Esther, which, of course, is why it's always connected around this time of year. We just are celebrating, we're ending Rosh Chodesh, we're in the beginning of the new month of Adar, Adar 2, actually. The second month of Adar is a leap year, and our Purim celebration is just really a few days away, a couple weeks away, and we will honor Esther and her legacy then, but certainly we will honor the legacy of Hadassah today, again, appropriately named and connected to Esther, who was named Hadassah in Megillat Esther. So welcome to everybody. We're going to start, as we always do, with a little Shabbat Nigun to get us into the mood for our Shabbat worship, and then I'll call upon Marian Bernstein to give us some words of introduction as well. So this is on no page, so if you're looking for a page, you won't find it. Just join in with the melody and with Arlene.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la, ya la 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 ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, la la la, ya la 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 la ya la la.
Marian, if you'll come forward as you say some words of introduction for us. It's, again, a very special night, and we're thrilled that you can all be. Yeah, here, come over here. Okay, please come over here. There you go. That way they can see you online as well.
Oh, thank you. I wanted to thank the Congregation Agudas Achim and their rabbi for inviting us to be a part of their Shabbat with our annual Hadassah Shabbat. And this is a very significant year. It's 110 years since the founding of Hadassah by Henrietta Zold. And she was an amazing woman. And the history of Hadassah is the history of amazing women and all that they have been able to accomplish over the years. And I want to mention one of our amazing women here in San Antonio, who was the president of our chapter. Her name was Kinneret Kelman, and she unfortunately just passed away. But I wanted to make sure that everyone heard her name and the names of all the people who are going to be here celebrating Shabbat and bringing the taste of Hadassah to you, including a little bit at the end after services. And please, if you're not a member and you want to know more about it, ask any of us. We'd be glad to tell you about all the wonderful things we do. And you will hear more about it from Kinneret Kelman, who's also a past president of our chapter. And we are really blessed in this community. So many of these women who are here with us tonight are all supporters and active members of Hadassah. Thank you all. And you want me to start? Shalom Aleichem is on page 5. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
If you'll turn back in your Siddur to page 4, there you will find the blessing, our bracha, for lighting candles this evening. We ask Natalie and Frida, if you'll come forward, as you have the honor of kindling the lights for us. And I'll ask if they're able to, if the congregation will please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner Vitzivanu, Vitzivanu, lahadlik ner. Vitzivanu, Vitzivanu, lahadlik ner. Shel Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom. Koach. You are welcome to be seated. We find the formal beginning of Kabbalat Shabbat as we welcome in the spirit of Shabbat into our midst with a variety of different psalms. Page 11, you'll find Lechuna Ranana as Arlene leads us.
Lechuni ranina, lechuni ranina, lechuni ranina, ladonai. Lechuni ranina, lechuni ranina, lechuni ranina, ladonai. Naria, naria, letzui shenu nikad mafana bitoda. Naria, naria, letzui shenu bismirot naria lo. Lechuni ranina, lechuni ranina, lechuni ranina, ladonai. Lechuni ranina, lechuni ranina, lechuni ranina, ladonai. Lechuni ranina, lechuni ranina, lechuni ranina, ladonai. Lechuni ranina, lechuni ranina, lechuni ranina, ladonai.
Wonderful. You'll turn to page 20, the 3 lines from the bottom by the little arrow. You'll find Romemu, Adonai Eloheinu, exalt Adonai our God. The image of this end of this psalm is that we raise our spirits up. We find the holiness of God as we, again, raise and make our Shabbat extraordinary, holy in itself. So page 20, the last 3 lines, Romemu.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu lahakodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu lahakodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu lahakodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu lahakodsho.
On page 21, if you'll turn to the next page, you'll find the words Mizmor LeDavid, our 29th psalm. We rise as we join together.
Mizmor LeDavid, Havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, Havu l'Adonai, Kavod v'haoz, Havu l'Adonai, v'chimo yishtachavu l'Adonai, Adrat Kodesh, Kol Adonai amayim, El HaKavod iri, Adonai
are welcome to be seated. On page 23, you'll find Lecha Dodi, our hymn that welcomes in Shabbat as a bride or queen into our midst. And when we get to the last verse on page 25, I'll give you the signal. We'll rise as the Kabbalists did and do, and we will face the door and welcome in Shabbat. So we invite Emily Sparks, who will be leading us in Lecha Dodi. We're going to do the first two, if I remember, the middle, Hitorari, and then the last two verses on 25. So you'll find, again, we begin at the top of 23.
Dodi likrat kala, Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu el ham yuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litilah. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, Ki hi mechor ha'beracha, Meherosh mikedem, Pesucha sof ma'aseh ha'pach shel datilah. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Hidore.
Middle of 24.
Ki v'horeku mi ori, uri shir daberi, Mo Adonai alayet nigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela.
We rise and face the door.
Gam v'simcha u'v'etzola, toch emunei am segula, bo'ichala. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela.
You may be seated. Yeshua. Thank you, Emily. Beautiful. If you'll turn to page 27, there you'll find the Psalm for Shabbat as we join together.
Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, Tov lehodot la'Adonai, Ulizamer l'shimcha elyon, Ulizamer l'shimcha elyon. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, Tov lehodot la'Adonai, Ulizamer l'shimcha elyon, Ulizamer l'shimcha elyon. Lahagid baboker chastecha, ve'emunotcha balelot. Alei asor ve'alei navel, alei gayo ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידך ארנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
Page 28, by the little arrow, you'll find the word Sadiq Katamar Yifrach. The righteous flourish like the date palm and thrive like the cedar in Lebanon. We join together as Arlene leads us.
Sadiq Katamar Yifrach, Ke'eres Bavanon Iske Shetulim Beveit Adonai Bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu O Januvun Beseva Deshenim Verananim Iyu Lahagi Ki Yashar Adonai Aitzuri Velo Avlata Bo Erotecha ne'emunu me'od lehevercha nahava kodesh Adonai la'orech yamim.
You'll find Kaddish Tome, our first mourner's Kaddish for this evening, page 30. Those reciting, if you'll rise and join with me again, page 30. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, va'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach leolam olomei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudisha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran mi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'romav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. You are welcome to be seated. It's my pleasure and honor to call Kathy O'Neill to the Bima. She, I know, was very involved in coordinating all of our different parts. You might have gotten phone calls from her earlier and before as we were planning this wonderful service, and she has some words to share with us.
Thank you, Rabbi Cohen, and thanks for putting up with my calls and emails.
Always on. Anytime.
Shabbat Shalom. This week, we finished reading the book of Shemot with Parasha Pikudei, or accounts. This is the culmination of all the work done by Moses and the Israelites to collect materials worthy of our God and assemble the Mishkan, or tabernacle. This parasha resonates with important themes, including Shabbat observance, tzedakah, and financial accountability. And at an awe-inspiring moment at the end, when the gathering, the accounting, and assembly are completed, God's presence descends upon the sacred space to dwell with and guide the house of Israel. As I was writing this devar, I was really struggling with my feelings about the divine presence and the horrific events going on in the world today. It's heartbreaking to see the people of Ukraine, including Holocaust survivors, fighting to survive bombings and other attacks, including the recent bombing of the memorial for Babin Yar, where over 33,000 Jews were massacred by the Nazis. And in the United States, our people are still being targeted by the forces of hatred and anti-Semitism. It's only been weeks ago that a rabbi and some of the congregants in Colleyville, Texas, were held hostage in their synagogue. Over the past few years, other synagogues in Pittsburgh and Poway have been the target of murderous attacks. In the past few years, our own community in San Antonio has been the subject of vandalism, anti-Semitic flyers, and hateful demonstrations. It is more important than ever for us to renew and create the essential sacred spaces which invite our God's sheltering presence. These sacred spaces can foster growth, healing, creativity, and strengthen our relationships. To create our sacred spaces, we don't have God's step-by-step instructions and specifications from the Torah. So we can't expect God to do the work that we must do here on earth to help repair the world. Purim is a little more than a week away. Henrietta Sold, one of the earliest Zionists, was inspired by Queen Esther when she founded Hadassah 110 years ago. In the early part of the 20th century, Hadassah brought modern medical care to pre-state Israel by founding clinics and hospitals, curing blindness, containing the 1918 pandemic, and saving women from a 50% maternal death rate. Since those early days, Hadassah has continued to do extraordinary work here and in Israel to heal and strengthen the Jewish people. Medical professionals, tons of supplies, hospitals, clinics, food programs, a nursing school, and more were all funded by the women of Hadassah. During the 1930s, after her 70th birthday, Henrietta Sold rescued 11,000 young people from Nazi Germany and Europe through Youth Aliyah, a staggering effort of organization and support which made it possible for these young people to thrive in the land that was to become Israel. Since 1934, more than 300,000 young people from 80 lands have graduated from Youth Aliyah. This work, too, was funded by Hadassah. Hadassah also helped build Young Judea, the youth camps which are so important to the development of Jewish identity for thousands of our young people. Hadassah built the first trauma center in Israel and developed life-saving protocols and groundbreaking surgical procedures. Hadassah trauma specialists share their expertise by training the IDF Medical Corps and other personnel from around the world. Today, Hadassah hospitals invite patients, staff, and families to experience the healing and shelter of God's divine presence. 1 million people are now being treated each year. Medical research funded by Hadassah is developing breakthroughs for the world's most devastating diseases, including ALS, MS, and others. As I write this, Hadassah has already sent medical supplies and is raising funds for healing in Ukraine. So I know as a member of Hadassah, I must do my part of this work. Through tzedakah, I can help Hadassah maintain the hospitals that are so important to medical breakthroughs and the healing of body and spirit. Through Hadassah's National Action Center, I can add my voice to many others to demand action from our elected officials against anti-Semitism and hatred. Through our programs, I hope to learn, grow, and develop relationships with other women in Hadassah. I invite you to join me in these opportunities to create sacred spaces which invite God's divine presence, which we so desperately need to help heal our world. In these days, may all of us, our family and friends in Israel and other parts of the world, and all of our sisters in Hadassah, go from strength to strength. Shabbat Shalom.
Beautiful. Thank Kathy for her inspiring words and for allowing us to see how many different ways Hadassah has made an impact, not just in Israel, but here in America and in our world. And I know as a rabbinical student, coming out of rabbinical school actually, coming into my first pulpit, the Hadassah chapter in Arizona, that was their welcoming gift to me, was a membership, a lifetime membership in Hadassah. And I think it's a wonderful organization that just does so much to help so many people and quietly does that with integrity and with meaning. So we thank you for telling us more about Hadassah, for those of us who don't know all the things it has been involved in, and for inspiring us to continue and further its cause. We're going to begin the evening service on page 39A. And as we are an optimistic people, just like Hadassah is an optimistic group, because we begin our new day in the evening when the sun goes down. And it's an important message, I think, that when things seem at its darkest, we can bring it light. And it's a wonderful idea that our tradition holds, and certainly, again, that our group, our institution of Hadassah holds as well. So ask if you're able to rise. Page 39A as we begin our evening service together.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
You're welcome to be seated. We'd like to invite up Suzanne Patrick, if you'll come forward as you lead us in an interpretive selection on page 39A in the far left in the small print. This first bracha after the Baruch Hu is along the theme, of course, is of creation. And this is a beautiful interpretive selection about God and nature as we read responsively, page 39A.
Beloved are you, eternal God, by whose design the evening falls, by whose command dimensions open up, and eons pass away, and stars spin in their orbits.
You set the rhythms of day and night, the alternation of light and darkness sings your creating word.
In rising sun and in spreading dusk, creator of all, you are made manifest.
Your dominion.
Beloved are you, Adonai, for this hour of nightfall.
Amen. On the bottom of 39A by the little arrow.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבי.
Amen. Page 40, you'll find Ahavat Olam, our second bracha before the Shema, that speaks of God's love for us and our love for God through the mitzvot. Page 40.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Hukim u'mishpatim, Otanu lemadita. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, B'shachbeinu u'v'kumenu, Nasiach b'chukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha, L'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, u'v'hem nekei yamam v'layla. Ki hem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, u'v'hem nekei yamam v'layla. Ki hem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, u'v'hem nekei yamam v'layla. Ki hem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, u'v'hem nekei yamam v'layla. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Me'ahavadcha al tasir mimenu leolamim. Baruch ata Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
We invite Leslie Hickey, and I'm guessing Hannah's coming with, wonderful, to lead us in the Shema and the B'Ahavta, the Hebrew and in the English, page 41.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. B'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'odecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi metzavecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, v'lechtecha b'derech, uv'shachtecha uv'kumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu l'totafot b'neinecha, uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'visharecha.
We read in the English together with Leslie and Hannah, page 41 on the far left.
You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all that is yours. These words that I command you this day shall be taken to heart. Teach them again and again to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand, and as a symbol above your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your home and on your gates.
If you'll turn to page 44, there you'll find right in the middle of the page in the bold words, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, who is like you, Adonai, among the mighty. This is our part of our song that we recited as we crossed the Red Sea into freedom from slavery. It is a joyous melody that we sing it to appropriately. It expresses the experience of having left bondage, being free, and being able to make the world, we hope, the way it needs to be. Page 44, we join together.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, no ra tehilot, oh seifele. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, no ra tehilot, oh seifele. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, bokei ayam livnei Moshe, Ze'eli, anu ve'ameru. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, bokei ayam livnei Moshe, Ze'eli, anu ve'ameru. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, no ra tehilot, oh seifele. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, no ra tehilot, oh seifele. Adonai yimloch la'olam va'ed. Adonai yimloch la'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, no ra tehilot, oh seifele, oh seifele, oh seifele. Ne'emar ki fad Adonai et Yaakov ugalo miyad chazak mimenu, baruch ata Adonai Ga'al Yisrael.
Amen. If you'll turn over to page 45 there, you'll find our Hashkivenu, our prayer that we recite as we prepare to end our evening, as we prepare. It used to be the bedtime prayer, a prayer we would say as we go to sleep at night, and it expresses the hope that we will awaken to a brighter tomorrow. Page 45 on the far left, we invite Debbie Link and Marilyn Collins, if you'll come forward and read in the English this lovely tefillah, this lovely prayer for us. 45.
Thank you, Rabbi. Hashkivenu, we would appreciate if you would all read together on page 45. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel, and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us.
Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spray over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Amen. You'll turn and just your eyes to the right side of the page there. You'll find 45. We thank you, Debbie and Marilyn, for leading us as we join together in the Hebrew in the singing of Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamitenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamitenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamitenu malkeinu lechaim. Ushmat Seitenu Uvoenu L'chaim Shalom Me'ata ve'ad Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamitenu malkeinu lechaim. Hamitenu malkeinu lechaim.
Shkach. If you'll turn over to page 46, we invite Lisa Friedman, if you'll come forward as you lead us in Vishamru. Our tefillah comes from the book of Exodus, reminding us of our connection to God through the observance of Shabbat. That Shabbat is an oath. It's a sign of our covenant with God that we share. Ah, wonderful. Eli, come on up with us. Page 46, as we all rise, as they join and lead us. Et HaShabbat Torah Berit Olam B'Shamru B'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat Et HaShabbat Torah Berit Olam B'nei Yisrael Oti leolam, oti leolam, B'Shamru b'nei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat, Torah berit olam, ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai. Et HaShamayim et ha'aretz B'Shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat leTorah berit olam u'bayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash continue standing, Yasher Koach. On page 46, you'll find Chatzi Kaddish as Arlene leads us.
Yitkadav yitkadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yama divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei t'chol Beit Yisrael. Ba'gala, ba'gala, uv'izman kariv v'yimaru. Amen. Yeheshmei Rabbah mivarach le'alamol me'omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yihidnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalal shemei dekudisha richu la'ela min kol b'chata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata na'amiram v'yama v'imaru.
Amen. You'll find the silent Amidah for this evening, beginning page 47 through 52. You are welcome to add your own personal thoughts and meditations to the words on the page. And when you're through, you're welcome to be seated. We start again on 47 silently. Find the conclusion of the Amidah, page 51 in the middle, Shalom Rav. The last bracha is always one that talks about peace, about shalom, and certainly we need that in our world today. Middle of 51.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam. 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 Ki ata melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim le'olam. V'tov be'einecha livarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם, תשים לעולם.
If you'll turn to page 173 on the far left, 173, the far left, you'll find our Mishaberach for Healing, written by Debbie Friedman and Dvorah Siddle, two very strong women in and of themselves, that wrote a beautiful melody for us to express our hope for healing, not just physical healing, but emotional and psychological, and most certainly for healing of our world, of the disparate pieces of our world that we hope we can become whole again. And especially again, as we see what's going on in our world today, in Ukraine in particular, we need all the prayers for healing that we can say. So page 173, you'll find again our special Misha Berach on the far left part of the page.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Refuah Shalema. You'll turn back in your Siddur to page 54. There you will find Kaddish Shalem, as again Arlene leads us. 54.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yamad divrachiruteh, v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechonu v'yomechonu v'chayedecho beit Yisrael, b'galahu v'zman kariv v'himaru.
Amen.
Yahesh me Rabbah mivarach, le'alamu al me'amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'tomam v'yihidnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudesha. Brichu la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nekamata damiran b'yama v'himaru.
Amen.
Titkabal salot tahon v'utahon dechal Yisrael, kadamu v'ahon v'yishmaya v'himaru.
Amen.
Yahei Shlama Rabba Min Shmaya V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimaru
Amen.
Oseh Shalom B'mromav U'yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimaru Amen.
One of the ways we celebrate special moments in our lives is by taking a cup of grape juice or wine, some sweetness, and toasting that sweetness and adding that sweetness to our lives. So if you'll turn to page 55, Marion, would you mind coming up and representing Hadassah? We have 2 cups up here. So Arlene, if you'll take one, and we'll hand Marion the other one as all of us rise. As we toast this Shabbat, we toast Hadassah. There's nothing in there? That's not so good. Okay, well, we'll pretend. Page 55, you'll find Kiddush for Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hayafeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzo hinchilanu zicharon lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila למקראי קודש, זכר לציון מצרים. כיוונו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת באהבה ופרסון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
As we remain standing, we turn to page 56. There you will find Aleinu as we join together.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה לראשי בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אינו אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשפפות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ ועל Bayom hahu, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo echad, Ushemo
You may be seated. As we turn to page 58, there you'll find our mourner's Kaddish for this evening. And as we recite mourner's Kaddish, we continue to keep in our thoughts Mary Stewart and Helen Corky Maltz, who is the sister of Butch Karen and Ruth Toback. And certainly we keep in our thoughts Kinneret Kelman, wife of Aaron. I know you're here, and mom to Michelle. And we continue to give you our hugs of support as you go through this difficult period of time, as you finish Shiva and move through Shloshim. And we know she was a special human being, and special to Hadassah as well, as a president and as an active member. So we keep her in our thoughts this evening as we recite Mourner's Kaddish. We also mention the names of those whose yortzites occur today and the week that will be coming. Sissy Arch, Anna Bernstein, Melvin Bloom, Lanny Cooper, Frida Fleshman, Nat Friedman, Ben Friedman, Anna Furman, Abe Gans, Carol Horwitz, Stanley Maurice Joseph, Belle Malley, Harriet Rosen Miller, John Munoz, Anna Ozer, Sandra Pruzansky, Linda Eisenberg Pullen, Edward Rusikoff, Alan Schwartz, Joe Solomon, Morton Spiegel, Helen Stuhl, Florence Zuerin. All those reciting Kadisha Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish, you'll find it on page 58. Certainly those who are rising to remember people, we keep your loved ones in our thoughts as well. Page 58. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah v'yalma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam omei omaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei dekudisha b'richu le'ela ninkol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran v'yalma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'romav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. You are welcome to be seated. A few brief announcements. As always, we have our Shabbat morning service tomorrow morning at 9:15. Hope you will join us. We will also be observing Refugee Shabbat, sponsored by HIAS and many other organizations within the United States and beyond, international as well, as we recognize the plight of refugees in our world. And I think, again, how appropriate that we do that tomorrow, in that we see what is going on in the world today. And it is a responsibility for us to understand and know what's going on, and certainly acknowledge the need for supporting those who are refugees in a variety of different ways. So keep that in mind for tomorrow morning. We'll just at least add a few extra prayers for that Shabbat, for this Shabbat tomorrow. We also remind you that you can come help make a minyan any morning during the weekday at 7:30 here in person, and Sundays at 9 a.m. We'll be here as well. And some upcoming events: Purim Carnival. Yay! Wednesday, March 16th, Wednesday evening at 5 o'clock, we're going to be outside in the Cavi Family Pavilion. You can join us for a fun dinner, costume contest, games, kid-friendly Megillah reading, and so much more. only $5 per person for a light dinner and all the fun, and children 2 and under are free. How about that for a bargain? So you can RSVP to the RSVP line. It's rsvp@agudasachim.org. We hope you'll join us, or you can call in the office and leave your name, and you can join us for a wonderful Purim. That next morning, Thursday morning, of course, is Purim as well, and at 7:30 we'll have our regular morning minyan with a Megillah reading. Our full Megillah reading will be that morning, so come help make minyan and celebrate with groggers in hand. And we have a few other things going on, certainly. We have a chess tournament coming up on Sunday, March 20th from 12 to 6. This is for Nathan Adelstein's Bar Mitzvah project. He's holding a charity chess tournament benefiting Agudas, and it's open to players and spectators. You can register at completechesseducation.com if you're interested, or if you're a chess player and want to participate. You can be here and help support the congregation, certainly, and help support Nathan as he has his Mitzvah project. It's a very unique one, and we certainly want to give him the support. He's a big chess player. So Israel and summer camp scholarships, don't forget, if you want to go to summer camp or an Israel trip, and you want some money to help you get there, well, we are now accepting applications. All members of Agudas are eligible to apply if you're going to any Jewish summer camp, birthright trip, or any long-term Israel trip. And if you are a graduating high school senior as a member of Agudas Achim, you can also apply for a scholarship to an accredited university, college, or vocational school. And if you need the application, you can call the office. Jessica in the office will give you the information. And there's one other thing I wanted to make mention of. Next Shabbat, as we are calling it, in case you missed it, right, Eli? We didn't miss it. We were here. It was just cold and lots of snow on the ground and electricity not working and all that other fun stuff. But a year ago or so, Eli became a bar mitzvah amidst COVID, and amidst not only COVID, but our lovely power outage and our bad winter weather. And so this is his first anniversary of his bar mitzvah next week, so he's going to participate, read his haftarah again, read his maftir, help with the service, and I know there's a Kiddush lunch involved as well, so we hope if you're here in town for spring break, come join us, come increase the joy and celebration on Shabbat morning next week with Eli and his family, so keep that in mind. With that, I think we have concluded.
We're doing Adon Olam.
We are doing Adon Olam. Okay.
211.
Got it. So we have concluded our tefillah. We're going to conclude with Adon Olam on page 211. But again, I want to thank all of the representatives of Hadassah who came, helped lead parts of the service. All of you are here in celebration of Hadassah Shabbat. We're so thrilled that you asked us to host and that you participated with us, certainly in our tefillah. You increased our joy so tremendously, and we thank you for doing that, and we encourage everyone here to continue to support the great work that Hadassah does in all so many different fields, and the great education work that they do as well, and support of our teens and children through the youth group for Young Judea and Camp Young Judea. And just a side note, my uncle was very big in Youth Aliyah early on. He had a big party. He ran some Youth Aliyah villages. So when you talked about Youth Aliyah being a part of Hadassah, I know that's a part of my family's legacy through my uncle, who was a rabbi, Zichrono Livracha. He just passed away a couple of months ago. So I keep him in mind when you are talking about that as well. So thank you for all the great work you've done. We're going to conclude as we thank Arlene and Michael and Anthony for also enhancing our service. And there is a lovely oneg, so you don't have to run out tonight. Come and enjoy a few hamantash and some other treats sponsored by, I know, Kathy and Ron in celebration of Hadassah Shabbat. So page 211.
Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra, La'et Nasa V'chefsakol, Azan Alak Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Ve'acharei Kichot Asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'et nasa v'chefsa kol azay malach shemo nikra adon olam v'hu echad ve'ein sheni laham shilo lahachbira adon olam v'li reshit v'li tachlit v'lo Asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'et nasa v'chefsa kol azay malach shemo nikra adon olam v'hu eli v'chai goali v'tzur chevli be'et zara adon olam v'hu nisi umanos li menat kosi b'yom mikra adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'et nasa v'chefsa kol azay malach shemo nikra adon olam beyado afkid ruchi be'et ishan v'a'ira adon olam v'im ruchi geviati Adonai li v'lo ira adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'et nasa v'chefsa kol azay malach shemo nikra adon olam.
We thank Jody Freeze for being our usher in the back along with Phil.
Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom.
Things was well. Caribbean, nothing exciting, just getting old. Exactly.
I could have taken the water bottles. I didn't think about her. You can always do it up in water if you have to.
Well, this time ain't mine. Yay! We can't even go.